for completing the recitation meditation part. And now, let's start this one. Now we move on to the reading for today. So for today's reading, before we do the reading, I read something in the magazine called The Week, and I found this interesting. And then I found this part of You Were Born for a Reason that can explain it. So yeah, there was this article in The Week magazine. It's titled Death from Above, and it's talking about how in Ukraine, drones have upended the rules of warfare. The world's militaries are paying close attention. So they called it Operation Spiderweb, which is a wake-up call for everyone. It says on June 1st, Ukraine launched its most elaborate and audacious attack since the start of the war. So, over 18 months, they were smuggling what they call quadcopters into Russia. It's like maybe like a mini helicopter. They were hiding it inside shipping containers with remote controlled roofs. And then these containers were loaded onto the backs of semi trucks, which packed near 5 air bases across Russia. And basically, they were able to activate these explosives remotely and harm their perceived enemy. And the article is saying, every country has this kind of vulnerability. So once the war starts, um, it says how it's staging grounds for drone swarms that would make this kind of attack look minuscule. Anyway, it sounds very ominous, but when we read or learn about the Dharma, eternal questions, desire in our modern age reminded me of this, how we are living in modern age and how desires going, taken up to the next level and even in the war zone. So it's coming to the next level. And that means it's creating more anxiety and uneasiness for not just the soldiers and warriors, but for ordinary citizens as well. That means psychologically, too, humans will be having depression or anxiety unheard of in the past. Well, let's learn about the root of it all from the book You Were Born for a Reason. So, this is a part two, chapter one. The eternal questions. Desire in our modern age. What do people live for? This ancient, ever new question was debated some 2400 years ago in Greece, as recorded in Plato's Gorgias dialogue. Calliculus proposed that the proper way for a man to live is to allow his desires to expand without limit and to devise means to satisfy all his longings. Today's residents of advanced industrial nations would appear to be true followers and devotees of Calliculus. From the time of the Industrial Revolution in the 18th century, when products were first manufactured by machine, it is fair to say that people's efforts and ingenuity have been increasingly focused on how to get all the things they want, how to gratify their desires with maximum efficiency. Yeah, in this article I read for you, it talked about these drones. It cost like $1 million each for Ukraine to create them, and somehow Ukraine is ahead of this game. Um, yeah, maximum efficiency. Yeah, but what they destroyed was worth billions of dollars. Anyway, 20th century humanity in particular, confident that material affluence was the key to happiness, began to glorify material prosperity. At the same time, people's desires have continually inflated. As society prospers and produces more and more goods, consumers come to want more and more. From personal computers to flat screen TVs to new cars, and now it's to quadcopters used in the war. American economist John Kenneth Galbraith, author of The Affluent Society, termed this the dependence effect. One of the latest scientific marvels has made it possible to talk to virtually anyone, anywhere, while walking down the street. Now that even primary school children hold cell phones to their ears, it is hard to remember back, not so long ago, when few in Japan could afford even a wristwatch, or in any other country for that matter. Microwave cooking has vastly simplified meal preparation. Ubiquitous ATMs have made cash deposits and withdrawals possible 24/7, while thanks to internet banking, you can check your balance and transfer funds in the convenience and privacy of your own home. A particularly wonderful recent invention is a camera tiny enough to swallow that can transmit live images of the entire digestive tract from inside the body. The world has definitely become a more convenient place. So, why do we not have a lasting sense of happiness? We may obtain things we want, one after another, yet we can never keep up with our galloping desires. Instead, we feel unsatisfied and empty. Suicides are on the increase in developed nations, along with bizarre crimes and tragic accidents. So maybe we stop here. Yeah, yesterday in our Karma Lab on Meetup, we shared about the latest mass shooting in America. Somebody who was holding grudge against NFL, National Football League, because some of these young men, they play football, American football, they get head injuries and they have to live in pain for the rest of their lives. And if we don't know Buddhism and if we don't learn about cause and effect or karma, the green dragon of ignorance or resentment and bitterness and grudge and revenge comes up. And yeah, unfortunately, he took other people's lives and his own life at the end. So yeah. So these things happening, desires, right? People tell me, oh, desires, why Buddha says desires are dreadful. If we are in the dark, they can be dreadful. Of course, they can be useful when we benefit ourselves and benefit others at the same time. Then, of course, they become the source of happiness. Um, yeah, and like Einstein says, religion without science is blind. If religions don't teach cause and effect, they are in the dark, they're blind. It becomes full of superstitions. But science without religion or spirituality becomes lame. It cannot move forward steadily. Something is obviously wrong with how science is progressing. If more and more scientists and researchers don't get strengthened with the wisdom of the Dharma to utilize our intelligence for the betterment of our communities and the world. But I'm proud of all of us here. We're doing what we can to spread that light in our communities. And with ripple effect, little by little, change becomes possible. So I'm so happy and proud of all of us and anyone who upholds the truth and the Dharma and discovers its value and then tries to deepen understanding and share with people who don't know it yet. So good job, everyone, for being here practicing together. We will have Rocio's class at 6 p.m. Pacific with Morita Sensei, and have a wonderful Thursday. Bye.
Thank you, Bida.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Bida.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Rita.
Of course, Rocio. Take care, guys.